welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm your astrologer and tarot card reader, Mary Trimble, here with your readings for October the 21st through October the 27th. If you're new, welcome. I hope that you enjoy these readings and that you'll return. And if you are returning, thank you for supporting this channel and welcome back. Okay, so these readings are for your sun, moon, and rising. And they are for the collective. So please take what resonates and just leave the rest. Sometimes the messages can be very specific if spirit wants to contact a particular person over a particular situation. So if you would like a more tailored and in-depth personal reading, click on this link here. That will take you to my website. You can see what kind of readings I offer. Now, these... before I mention anything else, I do have a Facebook group, and that I do a live stream every 2 weeks in that Facebook group, and it's either about the new moon or the full moon. So coming up, we'll have the new moon coming up this week. So I will be doing a live stream at some point this week in that group, and we look at how you receive that the new moon or the full moon, whatever it is, in your sign. So it's very interesting, and I do that live, and I also have tarot cards on hand to answer questions. Now, another way to support this channel is through Patreon. So click on this link for Patreon and check out my Patreon page. You can donate as little as $1 a month. That's huge for me, maybe not so much for you, but it really helps. Now, what else? Lastly, these readings come in three sections. One is the intro, which is this. Then there's the astrological reading. And then there is the tarot card reading. And I will have skip times to all of those in the show more section below, as well as links to other videos. Sometimes it takes me a minute to update the links to the videos, but hang in there. Or you can also look at the playlist for October, and you can find all the videos in there. So without further ado, let's go to the astrology section of your reading, shall we? Hello and welcome to the astrology section of your reading. Now, what an incredible, powerful celestial sky we have this week. First of all, of course, it's all about culminating in the new moon on Sunday. But before that, on Monday, Venus is trine Neptune. Now, this is Monday, October the 21st, and that happens at 3:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is a harmonious aspect, and it brings in an intense appreciation for the arts, especially music and painting. You may have a stronger than normal inclination towards spiritual endeavors, or the mystical arts, such as astrology and tarot and Wiccan and things like that. Now, there could be a tendency to kind of sacrifice yourself, to be a little over generous and magnanimous. So that nature that can come out in all of us could leave you open for others to take advantage. Fortunately, Venus is also sextile to Saturn. So Saturn will rein that overly generous nature. It'll rein it in a bit, give it a little structure so that you won't be too generous and you won't be easily taken advantage of. But it is something to keep in mind. Now, the sun moves into Scorpio on Wednesday. Happy birthday, Scorpio. It's your month on the zodiac. So when the sun moves into Scorpio, things get a little more serious and perhaps more intense. It's important. Our relationships are more important. And also authenticity and honesty. We won't be interested in what's the word I'm looking for? Shallowness, or if someone's not quite who they seem to be, we don't have time for that. When the sun moves into Scorpio. Now, at the beginning of the week, we have 2 planets in Scorpio, Mercury and Venus. And then as we move to the new moon on Sunday, October the 22nd, there'll be 4 planets in Scorpio, because new moons are when the sun and the moon are adjacent, are right next to each other at the same degrees. They're almost on top of each other, right? So, the full moons are when they're opposite, the new moons are when they're together. This is a wonderful time to make intentions. And this is a new moon in Scorpio. So it is very emotional. It's very deep. It's very intense. Scorpio is the detective of the zodiac. And Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. So there's a lot of Plutonian and Scorpionic energies going on this month. So Pluto is about the planet. It's the planet of transformation, right? So this new moon will give us a chance to really go deep and see what kind of behaviors are holding us back. What needs to change in our lives? Perhaps we need to let go of some people, or a place. Perhaps we need to move. Perhaps we need to let go of some things or some behaviors. It's about searching, going really deep and searching what triggers certain reactions in us, and how can we change that? Are we smoking? Are we overeating? Are we overworking, gambling, perhaps taking drugs, maybe not exercising or taking care of ourselves? Are we sabotaging ourselves in some way? This is an opportunity to co-create with the universe and really go deep within. Transform your life through purification, through Let me tell you, I have been working with Pluto this last week or 2, and that's why you haven't heard much of me online, because I have been in deep, not just cleansing, really purification, getting rid of all my old files. I had these files from, the 90s. So I've been shredding for days and deep cleaning. Everything's been moved. It is plutonic. So if you can do that, it feels so amazing. I have reorganized my whole home and my workspace, so everything kind of flows a lot more easily. So this is an opportunity, and it's an opportunity to look at yourself and how you react. Now, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. It's going to be quite a challenging week, because at the same time, the new moon, that's the moon and the sun, right, are opposite Uranus. Now, this can mean volatile moods and mood changes, and our energy levels may fluctuate. This is really important to resist the urge to react. It can be rebelliousness, and anger can come up. So breathe before you react, and perhaps it might be more prudent to stay quiet. If you have the urge, that impulse to react, resist that. Now, earlier on the same day, Sunday is a whoa, one of those days. It's like a whoa. It's a hot topic day. So I would be aware of Sunday. These energies are a few days before and a few days after. Excuse me. And the energy of the new moon will carry us forward. So look, this is an intention that we need to make at this new moon of how we can change our life going forward and improve it. It's like, what can we change fundamentally about ourselves? What is possible to change? This energy is behind us for this change. It's got our back. Now, earlier in that day, Mars squares Saturn. This can bring up control issues. This is all about control. It can be about manipulation. It's almost like you have to take control of everything. And people and situations. Now, in extreme situations, you may express cruelty or perhaps even violence to get your way, or somebody may perpetrate that against you. So this is really important because this, manipulation and anger and cruelty comes from fear, really. That's the underlying emotion is fear. So strive to find out what that fear is, where it comes from. It will give you a better understanding of yourself and perhaps some self-awareness. And when you have that, then you can start to change those things. So this new moon will help in that discovery, the self-discovery and self-awareness. So it is really one of those, this week is all about going within. It's about searching for solutions. It's about searching for the root and help you to understand. Because when you understand, it takes the power out of that fear, right? It stops you from reacting out of emotional fear. Okay, let's go to your tarot reading, shall we? Hello, Cancer, and welcome to the tarot card section of your reading for October the 21st through October the 27th, all the way to the new moon in Scorpio. I hope you checked out the astrological report. It was very informative of the energies that we are facing this coming week. Now, what wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Cancer for the week of October the 21st through the 27th? What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Cancer? 3 cards for Cancer, please. Oh, 2. 1 more card for Cancer. 1 more card. There it is. Oh, here we go. 2. You got 2 here. Okay, now we have clarifying cards for Cancer. I've already shuffled them one last time. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Cancer through these clarifying cards for the week of October the 21st through the 27th? Please clarify. There we go. Please clarify. Oh, there we are. They're flying out, darling. And please clarify. Oh, there were several that wanted to come out. Interesting. Okay, Cancer, take a look at your cards. Excuse me. I'm feeling a bit under the weather, so excuse me coughing and perhaps spluttering a little bit. Here we go. Here's your cards. All right. The first card up for you is the Queen of Cups. Clarifying the Queen of Cups is the 10 of Cups. Then you have the 5 of Swords, clarified by the Page of Wands. Then you have the Queen of Wands and the Hermit, clarified by the Page of Cups. There's definitely crossover here, Cancer, so check out your Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you don't know what that is and you know the time of your birth, you can go to there's loads of places out there that give you free natal charts. Okay, so the Queen of Cups. She's just incredible. She helps everyone. She's kind of sometimes to the detriment of herself. So when she comes into a reading, you're being asked to take care of yourself. Pamper yourself. Make yourself, are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting enough water? Are you hydrating enough? Like, I definitely burned the candle at both ends this last week. That's why I'm feeling a little under the weather now, because I didn't sleep much. I was just going and going and going. I was like the Energizer Bunny. I kept on going and going. And I was running on 4 hours of sleep a night. So of course I'm starting to, your body starts to break down when you don't take care of yourself. So that's what this is about. It's that whole old adage of being in the airplane and making sure that you put the oxygen mask on before you help anyone else. You can't help anyone else unless you help yourself. And you've got this lovely clarifying card, which is the 10 of Cups, all your dreams and wishes. And this is pure contentment. This is the happy card, the happy ending. So, look, this is about family, it's about friends, it's about loved ones, it's about, not, yes, we have this tendency, particularly, Monday, Venus is trine to Neptune. This is beautiful, but this can be self-sacrificing energy. This can be overdoing things for people, being too generous of yourself, and perhaps, and that trine will last almost throughout the week. But, well, maybe not the whole week. Yeah, not towards the end of the week, but maybe until Friday, that trine will be around. So you don't, Thursday or Friday. So you want to be careful not to overdo it, extend yourself, right? You've got to take care of yourself. And hopefully Saturn will help you do that, because at the same time, your Venus is sextiling Saturn, which will help to rein that in a bit. Now, you have, I have to see the, so you have the 5 of Swords. And what's interesting here, you've got the moth at the bottom of the 5 of Swords, and the moth is kind of wisdom. And this is about being in conflict with, or being out of sorts with the team kind of thing, right? So when the 5 of Swords comes in, this is about winning an argument no matter what, at what cost, and it's kind of usually ends in personal insults. This is what can happen. This is being cruel, right? Winning an argument through cruelty. And that is so apropos, because at the same time as this, I'm looking over here for at the chart for the new moon. At the same time, we have Mars square Saturn, and that's control, and it's, cruelty. It's winning an argument through being cruel. It's not a nice way to win an argument. So resist that urge to control and to be, because sometimes we get into these arguments. Look, it could be about politics. It could be about health. It could be about religion. It could be something that, it's something that you can't win. It's an argument you can't win. And usually it degenerates into personal insults between, the people arguing. So we have to resist that urge to manipulate, because it's a way, sometimes it's like telling someone they're stupid, or at least in a condescending manner. So you're basically telling them they're stupid, but then, it can be passive aggressiveness. It can be all that. So we really need to be aware of that so that we don't engage in this. And you have the Page of Wands clarifying it. This is an opportunity for you to really pull yourself out of that. Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes it's best to just back out and let the other person be wrong. We always think, oh, we're going to let them be right. Just let them be wrong. They don't know it. They think they're right, but they're wrong. Let them be wrong. Sometimes it's just not worth it, because the Page of Wands is about moving on to the next phase of your life. It's like, give this out. You've got 2 pages. This is about moving on. Pages are messengers, yes. But they're also indicators that you're ready to move on to the next phase of your life, because pages have been in service to the king and the knight. And at some point, they have to go out and be the knight, right? So this is telling me, especially as there are 2 of them, that you are ready to... this is a time of awakenings, right? So Cancer, this is a time for you to search within. What makes you react? What sets you off? What gets you to that place, right? What can you change so that you can move on? And look, here's the solution. You have the Queen of Wands. This is about finding the confidence within. This is, don't underestimate yourself. You can do this. You can move on. You can become the knight or knightress, right? The Queen of Wands, she's fierce. She's like, she's an incredible mother, wife, hostess, businesswoman. She's like the top executive that has it all. Boundless energy. So this, and she comes in when you need to, when you need self-confidence and you need to, look at yourself and say, you're underestimating yourself. You can do this. Whatever it is that you need to do, Cancer, you can do it. You have the power within and the talent. So right next to her is the Hermit. So this is a time to go within. It's a time to meditate, to connect with the ethereal realm. Look, this is the light at the end of the tunnel. There's the light. The light in this card represents his brain. He's not in control of his brain, but he doesn't allow his mind to control him anymore. And he is holding up to show others the way. Come this way. He's wise. He's like the wise old man. He's full of wisdom and knowledge, and he's spiritually awakened. He has got to the point where he is not controlled by his mind anymore. And so this is where you need to be. Don't be controlled by the monkey brain. Distance yourself from it. I always say this when I think of him. It's like, I am not this hair. It's a Rumi quote. I am not this hair. I am not this skin. I am the soul that lives within. And, he's out there on a cold and stormy light, holding the light up. So this also indicates that you need to teach others what you've been taught. It's time for you to guide others. It's time for you to show others the way. This can be you holding up the light and showing people. We have to remain teachable, right? Because we're all teachers and we're all students. And clarifying those 2 cards is the Page of Cups. And this is the gift of intuition and psychic ability for sure, but it's also another indicator that you are ready to move on emotionally. It's like finding your power within and moving on to the next phase of your life, like graduate. This is like a time of awakening and self-awareness for most of us. Some of us won't be awakened. There's a lot of people we know aren't awake. And we know that it's almost impossible for them to have any self-awareness. They can't see it. But you can, Cancer. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, family, neighbors, co-workers, social media. Comment. I live for comments and feedback. I always respond. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week.